All right, we're live. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Got a chill little day today where I think we're just gonna hang out, talk some ball, talk through some of the matchups this week. For anyone that's hopping in here, make sure to fire off any questions you guys have in the chat. We'll get to them. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good. Kind of just woke up, but I had cinnamon rolls and they were very good.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Um, yeah, it's been a chill day, chill week. I'm ready for some football tomorrow. Got my Raiders playing. You already know. Some interesting stuff I want to talk through today. Before we get started with anything else, I just saw this stat and it was something that I just thought was hilarious. So we've been talking a little bit about Jawan Johnson lately, right? Since Tyler Shaw took over, because we're like, oh, he's targeting him a lot. Like he seems to like him, and now that Shahid's gone, I think Johnson's totally viable as a tight end starter. Um, did you know they were college teammates?
No.
Yeah, because Tyler Shaw was in college for so long. Like when he was a freshman in college, Jawan Johnson was on that same team.
Very nice.
I just thought that was hilarious to
The
think
more
through,
you
dude.
know.
I know. Um, all right, so we can get into it. We're just gonna kind of walk through some of the games happening this week. Let me pull up outlier for
Yeah.
y'all. So the first game, we got Raiders taking on the Broncos. Um, everything says Broncos with this one, but I think the Raiders are going to get one sooner or later. And I don't see why they can't do it against the Broncos. I don't know. I just think the Broncos have been a little fraudulent. And I do think the Raiders look completely different with Bowers in the mix. I think I might be taking Raiders to cover this 8.5 mark. That feels pretty decent. Denver hasn't won by 9 points than 80% of their last games, and it's a divisional game. It always those games tend to be closer rather than blowups.
What's good, Chunk from the
Yeah.
Bay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this game, Josh? What do you think about fantasy implications? Do you feel decent about Genty? You feel decent about Bowers? Do you feel good about your Broncos? What
I
are we
feel
thinking?
like we feel good about Genty. I feel
Yeah.
like you are right about the Raiders looking very different with Bowers. I
Mhm.
think I agree that the Broncos have been pretty fraudulent. We agree that the Raiders have a good, sneaky good secondary.
It's more
Um,
more the front seven than the secondary. The secondary's not great, to be honest.
okay. We don't agree on that. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be closer than people are going to expect. I
Yeah.
think Genty might get there. I like to see what happens to Trey Tucker. Um, I think that's going to be interesting to see what kind of output we get from him. Bowers is definitely you're not
Mhm.
benching Bowers. I have him
Yeah.
in the flex, dude. I have him flexed. I'm playing Kyle Pitts. Like this is where we're at right now.
Yeah. I think, Bowers is this is a great spot for him. I think he did well against the Broncos in both matchups against them last season. I don't know if I'm firing up Trey Tucker this week. I know there's no Surtain, but I don't feel great about this Broncos secondary and pass rush. Like, even minus Surtain, he probably draws Riley Moss most of the game, and I just think they're really gonna try to run the ball on him. Look to see some Ashton Genty receiving work. I'm interested to see what his lines are at for receiving stuff. Let's look at that right now. Yeah, I think the Broncos have been decent against running backs when it comes to receiving stuff. Um, oh, why is it still showing? Last week. One sec.
What about the Broncos side? What do we think there?
So I don't know if I like Dobbins too much this week. I could be convinced to bench Dobbins for some other guys for sure. Um, if you're desperate, I think RJ Harvey's a decent flex option. If we're in belief that Raiders front seven's pretty good, Broncos could be airing the ball out more. RJ Harvey's been trending up as that receiving back for Denver. I think he had 5 receptions last game, and he's just been getting there through the air. So I kind of like the spot for him to maybe get there due to some receiving work, maybe he gets in the end zone. If it is, even if it isn't as close a game as we're saying it can be, say it's a blowout, like I think he could fall into the end zone that way. I like Cortland Sutton against the secondary. We talked about them being pretty weak. I think I feel good about pretty much all the Broncos pass catchers. Besides, I think Dobbins is really the only one I'd be considering benching. Are you playing Troy Franklin?
I think you are. I think you just have to ride out that share. Even if Marvin Mims plays, I think you just have to ride him out. I think Cortland Sutton, you're really just praying he bounces back this week. What's good, Frizzle? What's good?
So I
Jagula?
look like Yo, what's up, everybody? Make sure to fire off any questions you guys got, any trades, any start sits. We'll talk through these situations. We're just gonna be going game by game, talking about some matchups we like, some matchups we don't, maybe some bets mixed in here and there. Just having fun today. Make sure to drop a sub, like the stream, appreciate it. So it looks like Broncos actually fare pretty well to running backs receiving stuff. So that actually does kind of worry me a little bit about Genty. I don't know. I think this is a Bauer spot though, for sure, for the Raiders offense. Frizzle asked, should you trade Hampton for Henderson for Dynasty?
No.
No.
I want Hampton.
Yeah, I'm still Hampton on that for sure.
I'm not that worried about I'm sorry. I'm not worried about Kamani Vidal that much.
Yeah. All right, I think let's get on to a different game. This Raiders Broncos game, to be honest, like as a Raider fan, that game is going to be very boring to watch.
Kincaid, Theo Johnson, or Loveland?
Kincaid for sure. I'd rank them Kincaid, Loveland, Theo. Let's talk about Loveland a little bit because we didn't get to
Dude,
talk.
let's talk about Kincaid too, man. Let's talk about all of them.
These are all some interesting guys. So thank you for bringing these guys up, Evan. So let's start with Colston Loveland because I have some thoughts that I don't want to forget. So Colston Loveland, I picked him up in a couple spots. I've been a big believer in Loveland. I think this game, while sure, like it is Bengals defense, Cole Kmet goes down. I'm buying into this performance though. Even if you're looking at the snap shares before Cole Kmet went down in this game, I believe Loveland was playing 60% of the snaps or running 60% of the routes prior to Kmet getting hurt, and Kmet was only running, I think, around 20% of those routes. And then post injury, Colston Loveland was 74% of the routes. And I'm buying into that. Another thing I saw too was he was getting a lot of first read targets, which obviously first read targets, that means the play is being schemed up for that specific player. It means your coach is actively trying to get that player the ball. We're thinking think Jamar Chase, think Justin Jefferson. These guys are getting a bunch of first read targets because these plays are getting schemed up for them, right? It was actually Colston Loveland who I think he led the Bears in first read targets this last game. Let's go.
Thanks for this up.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I think the fact that Ben Johnson is actively trying to get Loveland involved in the offense is super encouraging to me. I think Kmet, it's a concussion, so I say he probably misses this week. Who knows if he misses any longer than that? I do want to see it against maybe a little bit of a better defense, but I do think this breakout was very real for Loveland. What do you think?
I mean, in terms of just not even the routes ran, because Colston Loveland on percent runs just more while he's out there. He's just playing more than Cole Kmet and the other tight end. I mean, after the bye week, Like when Komet was healthy, he started playing more than Komet. Komet getting injured just, hastened the process. I mean, they took a tight end top 12, you know.
Mhm.
Like they're gonna start using him, especially if they want to be competitive, and this guy's a dog. Like, I think you're right. I think it's very real.
Yeah. Snaps are trending up, usage is trending up, target share is trending up. I think 3.4 yards per route run last game, which is obviously that's definitely inflated by the play at the end of the game. But I feel great about Loveland. I was a big believer in the talent coming out of school, coming out of Michigan. I liked him. He was drafted ahead of Tyler Warren. Everybody, like, don't forget that. I know Tyler Warren. We're really excited about him, but look at Tyler Warren the last 2 weeks. Hasn't broke 10 fantasy points. Like, I'm encouraged to see Loveland trending up in the offense. If he's on your waiver wire, go and grab him for sure. I'm in on him the rest of the season. Frizzle said, I finally decided to trade for Bill a few weeks ago, and he decides to not play football. It's not fair. Yeah, Bill's definitely someone I'm worried about rest of the season. That is for sure. I think I said this on the pod last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if come week 14 he doesn't even have that starting job. Do you want to talk about Kincaid? Do you want to go back to Kincaid?
Yeah, we can talk about Kincaid. Let's tackle all these.
What's your Kincaid spiel, Josh?
Well, first of all, let's focus on the people. Atlanta said Dowdle's only got a 33% chance to play, which is very opposite to what you told me before stream. We were thinking he was gonna play. PPR, should I start Fannin this week or pick up Pitts or Loveland? Start Fannin. A little annoying they didn't trade Njoku, but I'm probably still starting Fannin. If you have space, I'd pick up Loveland, honestly, or Pitts, but I would have Loveland and Pitts just for upside reasons. Yeah, are you muted?
Yeah, I'd prefer Loveland just because of that ceiling, but I think Pitts is definitely viable too.
Kincaid being in a 2 tight end offense is what has me hesitating. I agree with that, Evan. The other day I was actually texting my friend, who's in a different dynasty league about a sneaky pickup I like in dynasty in Jackson Haas. He just plays, and he runs a lot of routes right now. He's like sneaky long term pickup because they're just not using Kincaid like you would like, right? Like they to
Killy
pull up
ran
the
15
exact
routes last game.
who Kincaid,
Kincaid. Mm-hmm. He only ran 15 routes against the Chiefs.
and he was only out there for 23 plays, so they don't use him for blocking. Period is what I'm essentially seeing, right? So every play they put him out there, he's running a route.
Dude, crazy 6.7 yards per route run this last week. That's insane.
But I don't know. Maybe they're like he's the receiving answer they need. Keon Coleman, low key looking like a bust. Like Khalil Shakir, cool guy, can't really throw to him downfield. Maybe they need to start leaning on Dalton Kincaid when James Cook can't get going or whatever, right? I think that's kind of what you have to go with because I don't see who else is making plays in the receiving game aside
Yeah.
Shakir.
Yeah. Kincaid I keep going back and forth on, right? Because all like the advanced metrics are telling you, like, dude, he's just been hyper efficient. He's not playing that many snaps. It's due for some regression, right? But to play devil's advocate for that, like when he is on the field, he's getting targeted often and he's getting there for fantasy based off that limited production or that limited role, right? So he's being very efficient in what he is getting. So you could also say, like, hey, let's say his usage trends up a little bit. Like, is he going to start scoring 15 points per game rather than being as boom bust as he is? I don't know if I would say that's likely to happen. I don't think he's just suddenly going to become a better blocker. And we know that the Bills are going to try to establish the run. They're going to try to feed James Cook the ball. Like, that's kind of their recipe on offense of what they want to do, right? And when Kincaid's in the game, it's a pretty big tell on what they're trying to do. They're trying to throw. I say all this to say that I'm still projecting Kincaid as kind of like a mid to low end tight end one each week, but I still don't feel great about starting him.
You gotta
Ranking,
project him like a high end receiver 3.
yeah,
Like, and that's what you're putting in your tight end slot though, which makes him like viable.
I think I still prefer him to Loveland in a nutshell. Like if you were offering me one for one, say I had Kincaid and the Loveland guys like, hey, do you want Loveland for Kincaid straight up? Like I would think about it, but I think I would hold Kincaid. Um, Loveland's very close to me, close to him though, and I think Loveland does bring a little bit of a higher ceiling. So say like your team is really well off right now, and you're looking for a little bit more ceiling, maybe go and get
Does
Loveland.
Loveland bring a higher ceiling? Like, does he though?
I think he does,
I think he
just
has a more
because
crowded offense.
he's just gonna play more. That's like what I'm
He
saying.
had
Like
his
he's gonna get
breakout
more
when DeAndre
receptions.
Swift wasn't playing. No touchdowns for Kyle Monaghan. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean he's not gonna score 35 fantasy points every week, but has Kincaid ever done that?
I feel like he has. I honestly feel like he's had a 30-point game before, or at least like a 28. Like it's been close, and he's had them more frequently.
Yeah.
I don't know if Loveland does have a higher ceiling, but I like that he's on the field more and can block. As a top 12 draft pick.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I think I still rank Kincaid over Loveland.
For now.
I think Theo's my clear 3 just because I think that's the worst passing offense. Uh I think he comes with the highest or the lowest floor of those 3. Like I definitely see some very minimal fantasy outcome performances for Theo throughout the rest of the season. Has been encouraging to see him get in the end zone, but he's more of like a dynasty guy for me or like a really deep league guy. Um, Kincaid and Loveland, I think, are viable in pretty much any format. Chonk asked, gotta set my 2 flexes. Pick 2. I got Darius Slayton, Demario Douglas, Jordan Mason, Tez. PPR 2 flex.
I think I'm Slayton and Douglas.
Really over Tez?
Tez is like maybe over maybe over Slayton.
I think I like Slayton and Tez.
Am I too high on Demario? Why don't you like Demario?
Mm,
Why don't you like Pop?
I'm just not a big believer in Pop. I guess Butte is gonna miss, so we are projecting more targets there, and they're facing the Bucks secondary, which is relatively weak.
The thing with Slayton is like I feel like they do want to pass it kind of farther downfield than, whatever the hell they're doing with Wandale and
Well, and
Theo
they're playing the
Johnson.
Bears, who are like just awful in the secondary right now.
So that's why, like with Slayton, that's why I like Slayton.
Hmm.
And then Douglas, I like the extra touches that may go around, even though that might be a Kyle Williams spot.
I don't think so. I think if anything, I'm playing it through Diggs. I like Tez as potentially like being the number 2 target getter in Tampa and in a better game script. Like Tez still had what 4 or 5 receptions last week and a pretty abysmal game script for Baker only threw for 120. I think he gets more work this week. I think he's the most clear start to me of all these 4 is Tez. Jordan Mason, I'm not playing. Even
Slayton and Tez is kind of what we're leaning towards.
yeah, I
Douglas
could.
debatable for Tez, or is it Slayton debatable for Douglas?
I would do Slayton or Douglas would be my decision there. I think I'm firing up Tez for sure, but I'm a big Tez guy to be completely fair.
I feel good about Slayton just given that offense, and
The
I
matchup.
feel like they don't want to just keep on doing the Wandale stuff. Like it's nice. It's not really good for winning football though.
Yeah. I'm
Are
definitely
we
not
picking up
playing
Cedric
Mason against
Tillman? I
I think
honestly,
he's a fine get, but like How many pieces do we really want to target of that Browns passing game? Like in a deeper league, sure. But if I'm having to drop someone that's decent to go and get him, like probably not. If I have to drop like a Bam Knight to go and get him, like sure, that's whatever.
If I have to drop an Ollie Gordon, I might.
That's fine, yeah. Something like that. You talking about Loveland, Evan? Yeah, I agree. And I think it's one of those things too that now like it's hard to bench a guy after a breakout performance like that, right? Like now that everyone's seen him get there, they've seen it translate to the NFL. Like you can't really bottle that up. You can't just go stick him back on the bench now that the whole team's seen him make a big play like that. The fan base has seen that. Like you can't just bottle him up. I think if anything, we're just gonna see more and more usage for him. May or Hurts? Bob, you talking about this week or rest of the season? If it's this week, I think I'm May, just because this Patriots Bucks game could be a sneaky, high scoring. I shouldn't even say sneaky, but this could be a pretty fun game. While Eagles, Packers.
No way. Did you just see the trade that went through in our Superflex?
No, what happened?
Bro, I've been trying to get Daniel Jones, bro. What am I looking at What am I looking at? What am I actually looking at?
Whoa.
Dude, what am I looking at?
All right, y'all. We just had a major
What am
trade
I
go
look
through in one of
Dude,
our
like
leagues.
I want to leave the league, dude. Like, what am
Let
I
me
actually looking at?
let me pull up the trade.
I just sent him a trade this morning for a first and like some nonsense for Daniel Jones. He doesn't even send a counter. He does this and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Guys, this is like a valid crash out right now. Pull it up. It makes no sense. What am I looking at?
Holy awful trade for the bottom team. Oh
What
my
am I
god.
looking at?
Daniel Jones, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase. Dude, that would
Oh
be a
my
fair price
god.
for Jamar Chase. And then Whoa. This is Brian's trade.
What am I
Wow. Yeah, instant takeaway from this trade is this the top side just absolutely smashes this side of the offer.
Was money involved? Was like, dude, like we need an internal investigation on this trade, dude. I need to see the chats. No, save the chats. I need to see the full text log of however you scammed this man into hitting accept. I need to see the
I will
chat log.
say, if you look at the picks though, like that 102
RJ's is gonna be like the 104 to 106 by the end of the season. Near far Jamar might be 104.
well, that's gonna be his pick. So if he's trading Daniel Jones, Chase, and Swift away, he's trying to tank.
Yeah, who is he getting, bro? Makai Lemon and who? The
Jordan
other guy, the
Clarkson.
running back, bro. Like Kara asked, like
Wow.
you just traded Jamar Chase and that guy. Here's my take. While we're here, here's my take on Daniel Jones, long term and short term. The Colts believe in Daniel Jones. They are going to re-sign Daniel Jones to a massive contract because they don't have a choice. They just traded away both of their first round picks for the next 2 years. They are not going to draft another quarterback. Anthony Richardson sucks. They are going to re-sign Daniel Jones. Long term, like probably 3-4 year contract, 30, 50 mil a year, probably 40.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my take on Daniel Jones right now. And I think Daniel Jones is extremely undervalued in Dynasty, in Superflex, and a little bit in redraft after this week. And that's my take on Daniel Jones. I'm still in disbelief over this trade. I'm so glad we got to have this while on the stream.
Yeah, this is a pretty major trade to go through one of our dynasty leagues. It is a super flex league. We don't do vetoes in our league. Otherwise, I would be considering a veto here for sure. But wow, this is wild.
I'm not voting on the trade. It'll never go through. I refuse to vote. I'm taking it. I forget what it's called in government, but I'm just gonna yap and not vote.
We can't veto trades.
Let's close down the government.
Collusion. All right, let's get back to some of these games for our audience that doesn't care about our dynasty league. Me and Yash can have more internal discussions about that
Dude,
game.
we need to launch an internal investigation.
Let's get to some of these questions. Antonio asked, as a Bucky owner, would you drop Tracy for White? To be honest, did you see Bucky isn't practicing today? I might do it.
But White's splitting carries with Tucker right now.
If you have anyone else you could drop instead of Tracy, like I'm not 100% ready to give up on Tyrone yet. If you have like any other extra defenses, any extra kickers, any extra quarterbacks,
I don't
anything
think
like that.
Tracy's the person you drop, yes, and I don't think White's worth dropping Tracy for just because, like I said, Sean Tucker just split carries with him this week. Like, I doubt they like what they're seeing from White. Like, we all saw that one game where you couldn't even get into the end zone 1 yard line with 3 carries. Like, Rachaad White really ain't that good of a running back. It's why they replaced him after like 1.5 years, you know? So I don't really like dropping Tyrone Tracy, who could be viewed as a riser while you're dropping him for a faller.
Yeah.
A 1 week faller, maybe 2. What do you do, Breece and Drake London for Josh Jacobs and Judkins?
Probably not. I think Drake London's the best asset in this deal. It's not horrible. Like, if you're really panicked about Breece, then sure. I just think your London's the best deal. I think Breece to Judkins. You are withstanding a lot of risk with Breece Hall right now, because this is one thing to consider with this Jet situation is now, because like Breece Hall made it very clear and obvious he wanted out, right? The Jets made it very clear and obvious that they were shopping him. If Breece Hall tweaks his ankle, why would he play through that? Like, he has nothing to play for. They're gonna be a horrible team. They have like no playoff aspirations at this point. Like, he's basically just there to collect a check the rest of the season. Like, what does he benefit from playing through an injury? I don't know if he's even going to be playing the rest of the season. So if that's kind of your mindset, then doing a deal like this is something I would consider Frizzle for sure. I would maybe try to target, see if you could do Breece, and I get London is probably the appealing asset that's even allowing you to do like send a trade like this. But if you could send like Breece plus for just Judkins straight up or something like that, like I might be more of a fan of doing that. Because I think London, this breakout game for London was very real. Like I don't think this type of game is, maybe not to this extent, but I think London's going to keep eating for fantasy rest of the season. West K asks, any reason to start Caleb Williams against the Giants over Hurts versus Green Bay? I'd probably still lean Hurts in this one. The Packers have a relatively weak secondary. So the Giants, but I just think the game it could be a sneaky fun game strip, the Chicago Giants too. Let's look at the totals for those ones. So Giants, Bears totals at 47.5. Eagles, Packers at 45.5. Wow. So they actually have Giants, Bears game, saying it'll be a little more scoring, a little more high scoring. I think I still lean Hurts just because the Packers are pretty good in the red zone versus the run, versus the Giants have been giving it up on the ground, and we've known that the Bears have been running the ball a lot more. So I think it's more likely we see the touchdowns go through the ground in that Bears-Giants game. And we know that Hurts is always a threat to get a tush-push touchdown, right, at any given moment. So I would go Hurts. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, no, I'm starting Hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams is exciting, but I don't know.
Caleb or Knicks this week? I'm going Caleb over Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slayton over Wandale. That's a good one. I think
I'd
I
still go
lean.
Wandale.
I was gonna say I almost lean Slayton.
Really?
Yeah, I
Just
just
getting more
feel like
downfield work.
downfield work,
Bears have been giving it up
touchdown
to the slot,
possibly.
though.
This is
Yeah.
true. Wandale is gonna have a higher floor and be PPR scam, but
Yeah.
I don't know. When's the last time we saw a big game out of Slayton? Let's look at this. I am number one Wandale lover, so I don't even know why I'm talking so negatively about my boy.
One deer asked another one. Would you sit Sutton for Henderson or ETN? Look at those matchups. I think I'm playing
ETN?
Sutton just in a nutshell, but yeah, ETN against no, I'm not playing ETN against the Texans. And yeah, go Sutton, dude. Go Sutton. Raiders secondary is awful. Got you. Yeah, it did. Brian, you finessed the shit out of him. Dustin, what's up? Received a trade. They want ETN for Sutton. My RBs would be Barkley, Dobbins, Woody, Benson whenever he comes back. Jason. I'm probably holding ETN. I know I just said to start Sutton over ETN this week, but I think in a nutshell, I still prefer ETN rest of the season. Let's look at. So this is an interesting thing I've been using to kind of weigh tiebreakers rest of the season. Obviously, we know the fantasy season is coming to an end. It is currently week 10, so that means we have week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5 more weeks of the regular season left, and then that's 3 playoff weeks, right? So we got 8 total games remaining in the season. Every game from now on out is very important to our season, right? So something we got to be considering is our schedules that our players are having for each position. And Mike Clay with ESPN has a great graphic that's very visually pleasing, very easy to read, and it's free. And it shows you each fantasy player or fantasy teams matchup by position in full PPR league formats. And I'm using this to kind of balance tiebreakers, right? So you look at the Jaguars, they actually have a really tough running back schedule rest of the season, 24th toughest in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Broncos have a 10th easiest wide receiver schedule and 30th hardest for running backs too. So we could see definitely some more pass volume for the Broncos these next couple of weeks. Does this sway you to the Sutton side?
Sutton versus
Travis Etienne. I might still prefer Etienne.
Yeah, I might just want ETN on my team.
And I don't really like his running backs compared to his wide receivers. Like, I think his wide receivers are fine without Sutton. I don't like his RB2 with no ETN. Like, I don't like having to pick between Dobbins, Woody, and Benson each week. I'd rather just
I would rather have ETN.
ETN. Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that trade, Dustin. Drop Tajay for Ray Davis. I probably would not, just because it doesn't even seem like a given James Cook is going to miss. And if he does miss, like, is it Ty Johnson? Is it Ray Davis? Like, we don't really know. We know Tajay Spears has a role. I'd keep Tajay.
I don't like Ray Davis. Slayton and Tez, yeah, from way back when.
All right, trying to catch up on these.
CD. Bergie just being a scam artist.
I just traded Marvin Harrison Jr., Jameson Williams, and Aaron Rodgers for Matthew Stafford and Garrett Wilson. That feels like a W trade. How do we feel about Marv rest of the season, though? Tough wide receiver schedule, Kyler Murray to IR. That's a situation we should hit on. Kyler Murray did go to IR today, if you guys have not seen that, meaning that Jacoby Brissett will be starting at least the next 4 weeks. Does that make us raise Mara in our rest of season rankings? Are we
I
concerned
think
about
you
the
rave
tough
him.
schedule?
You raise him to like a receiver 24, like a low end receiver 2 until we see him start repeating like these 18-point plus weeks. Then we can move him up higher. But I think he's capable of it. I think Jacoby Brissett is definitely operating this offense more efficiently than Kyler Murray has in the past. And I think he's a riser, right? We want to buy risers, not fallers. Um, love getting Matthew Stafford. I feel like Matthew Stafford for Jameson Williams and Aaron Rodgers is like a win. And then you're basically just getting Garrett Wilson for Marv, which how are we feeling about the Jets offense? I know we were getting asked about Brees today in the Discord. And I kind of gave the answer of applying the Cowboys process to the Jets and assuming horrible defense. Even though I did say on stream yesterday, I feel like the Jets defense might not be horrible, but let's assume they are just terrible. They'll be on offense more, have to air it out more. Maybe Justin Fields is like, chip on his shoulder, plays decent football, can get Garrett Wilson, maybe Adonai Mitchell there. But how do we feel about the Jets? Do we think that Garrett Wilson is still someone we should have in our top 12 receivers who kind of just, gets you 13 to 18 points a week?
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the less I like this trade, to be honest. Like, I'm talking myself into these doomsday jet scenarios, like just how I was saying with Brees Hall, if he were to tweak his ankle, like Garrett Wilson does the same thing. Is he gonna like come back as soon as he can, or is he gonna take an extra week off, right? And do we think I think a big part of this is how we are viewing Jameson Williams. Like, do we view his last week being more involved in the offensive coordinator saying like, hey, I need to make more of an effort to get Jameson Williams the ball? Do we view that as him trending up? Or are we thinking he's going to play well the rest of the season? The Lions do have the third easiest schedule for wide receivers from here on out. Like, are we bullish on JMO, or are we thinking that this last week was kind of a fluke and we can expect more the first couple weeks? I tend to think it's somewhere in between, right? I think he's still kind of in that boom bust range of guys, but it depends on who else you have to start at wide receiver, right? I think in a nutshell, Garrett Wilson is an upgrade over Marv. If you don't plan on starting JMO at all, Stafford's an upgrade over Rodgers too. Go take the 2 upgrades. But if you're lacking starters and you're rolling out someone like, I don't know,
Trey Tucker.
Yeah, Trey Tucker, like
Parker Washington.
Yeah, like if you're having to start like Parker Washington, then I probably want to keep JMO. But if you have a good enough starting lineup, go and get the upgrades. Go upgrade to Stafford and Garrett Wilson.
Just started naming my starting receivers in the Yahoo League this week.
That makes sense, Antonio. Tracy or Benson, who's more droppable to you, Josh?
We really want to pick up White this week, huh?
I might hold off though and see if Bucky practices tomorrow.
Something I heard today or yesterday was like, your handcuff running back isn't always just like a plug and play like 13-point running back, right? Like Bam Knight kind of showing that right now. Like they kind of stink like in the Arizona backfield. Like Trey Benson like wasn't great, but like Rachaad White is losing a backup running back workload role to Sean Tucker, who is a undrafted free agent from like 2 years ago. Granted, he was supposed to be like a day 2 running back, but like, hard stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't really like picking up White for like 1 week. I think you should just ride it out and hope for the best. Especially since you've waited this long with Benson, who should still be on your IR.
It doesn't seem like they are though, right? If he's saying he has to drop him.
Yeah, but like let's say he's like questionable or whatever, like you wrote him out for like 6 weeks, like keep him.
Yeah, what's the latest on Benson? Is he supposed to be coming back anytime soon?
It's a very good question.
I feel like that's a situation that they've been keeping very quiet.
Yeah, Chonk wants to drop Benson before Tracy at the moment. Just his opinion.
Hmm.
That being said, White is fading, so buyer beware. Yes, this is true. Miles wouldn't trade my goat for Matt Stafford. I know Aaron Rodgers is the goat, bro. Aaron Rodgers will lead my Superflex team to a magical playoff run this year. I can tell. He's just gonna turn it on at the end. All right, let me get in one of y'all leagues. I'll buy a spot for the person who's last. Bro, buy Ridge's spot, Frizzle, please. Frizzle, please save the league.
Yeah, I'd drop Cup for Trey Tucker, Bronson.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I would
Do
do
that
that
right
for sure.
meow.
Parker Washington, Christian Watson, or Pop Douglas? Pop? Christian Watson? I'd probably go Pop.
Long term, who do you
Yeah,
like
long term.
most?
Out of those three, Watson.
I was gonna say I like Christian Watson.
Yeah.
I should have hit the accept button on the
Starting
AJ
this week, I'll
Bronner
get
trade.
Pop. Yeah, I'd start Pop above those two though this week.
I will go Jerry Jones.
Dalton Schultz or Keon Coleman? Let's look at matchups. Texans play someone good or someone with a good defense. Jacksonville.
Backup quarterback.
Keon
Davis
Coleman
Mills.
though, like Keon Coleman feels like a disgusting start right now against the Dolphins. Like it's a nice matchup, I guess, but still doesn't feel great. Starting Keon, I think I'd lean Schultz just because he feels like a little bit safer volume. But you also got Davis Mills.
Let's talk about Keon Coleman. Let's just talk about him.
What does Davis say?
Why? Like, why? Why is there still a problem with Keon Coleman? Why are we still not getting anything out of this guy? Is he too young? Is he still just 22, a wee lad? Like, why are we? Why does he suck? Like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
He has an 18% team target share, allegedly, according to his stats right now, but it sure as hell doesn't feel like it.
He is playing the most snaps still of all wide receivers.
Like, I think you just pick up Keon for the what if you're really wanting to pick someone up. I think he probably has the highest ceiling, but like, will we ever see the ceiling? I don't know. You would think you have Josh Allen, the alien at QB.
Did you see what Brock Bowers just did to him? Do you mean 31st worst? Have they been? What have other tight ends done against them that are not Brock Bowers? Let's see, like, what's Dalton Schultz's lines at right now?
What's good, Mando? It's kind of crazy how bad the Jags are, considering how much effort they put into their receivers. Like they've spent like 3 first-round picks technically in the past 2 years on wide receiver. Just traded for Jacoby, trotted out Gabe Davis, trotted out Parker Washington. Christian Kirk was on the Jags, right? He was the one who got the big contract with them, or am I tripping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what? Like why do the maybe the Jags just have like the opposite of Midas touch with the receivers? They're like the new Patriots.
I would start Dalton Schultz looking at the data for sure. Jacksonville's awful against tight ends. And we know Jacksonville's just a big pass funnel team.
I don't own Pop Douglas. Do I drop TJ, Bam, Parker, or Watson?
Bam.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bam or TJ. Ant's a big Ty J guy. I'm not,
Yeah.
but
I like Tajay a little more than
if
Josh.
someone's got conviction compared to me being indifferent about both, we'll listen to the guy with conviction. So we'll drop Bam.
What up, Mando?
What's good, Tutor?
Yo. Make sure to like the stream, y'all. Drop a sub if you haven't already. Join the Discord. 100% free to join. Gonna drop some NBA pick'ems after stream today. We've been doing pretty well on those, even though yesterday SGA hooked us by 1 point. We had over 30.5 points. Finishes the third quarter with 30 points, then doesn't play the entire fourth. Ridiculous stuff there. But anyways, join the Discord. Link is in the chat. Make sure to drop a like and sub. What do we think about Jay Jettas with McCarthy? Josh, I'll let you take this one. You're the resident JJ McCarthy hater in here. What do you have to say about Jettas?
I mean, I haven't even seen Jettis' fantasy score with JJ McCarthy yet. To be honest, I didn't watch that game.
Okay. He scored a touchdown.
JJ McCarthy, though, third game. There's not much we can take away. Injury prone guy. I don't know. It was like low pass attempt time. I think it only mostly went to Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. I don't think TJ Hawkinson got involved, did he?
He scored a touchdown, but Jefferson saw 9 targets, 6 receptions, 47 yards. 2 of the 3 games that McCarthy has started, Jefferson has scored. So that's something to keep note of. He didn't score at all with Carson Wentz.
Low QB rating again.
2 of the 3 games he has gotten there with McCarthy. I think McCarthy is going to keep trending up, so I feel fine about Jefferson.
Here's my problem with McCarthy, though. It's like, how are we only getting 150 yards with like 2 first-round pick receivers? Forget they're Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Just 2 first-round pick receivers. A tight end you traded a decent amount of investment for a couple of moons ago. An offense that has been manned by Carson Wentz efficiently, Sam Darnold efficiently, Joshua Dobbs efficiently. And who else has just platformed their future career? Oh, Kirk Cousins off of the Vikings offense. Like, it's mostly been a plug and play offense. And I know it's only his 3rd game, but give me more. I need more from you. You have like crazy crutches. So he has the burden of having a great receiving core, which is making my expectations for him sky high. But I would pick him up. I mean, rookie upside, didn't play like garbage, doesn't play like Cam Ward right now, Winner, some would say.
Let's talk through where we have Jefferson rest of the season. So I still have him as my wide receiver 8. I just slid him behind Drake London. I still have him in the same tier. Do you have him higher, lower?
Lower.
How much lower?
Just like one below Ibuka, just because he's going to be Ibuka's the number 1 target in his offense, and his offense is better. And that's my super complex process.
Okay. I think I'm still Jay Jettas over Ibuka for now. Just because I think the name alone too of Jefferson just holds so much value, where like he's always going to be so tradable.
Yeah, for trade value, but like I'd rather have Ibuka on my roster.
I still want it. I think Jefferson brings a little bit of a higher floor too.
Got offered a trade to give up Chase Brown and get Ibuka. Okay, yes. What else is the trade? Just Chase Brown?
Dude, you don't got nothing else to think about. Oh my god, though, look at his running backs. Maybe not. Fuck.
Bruh, no. I don't care. You have Ibuka in your hands, bro. Go get Ibuka and like trade like Cortland Sutton for Breece Hall. or some tomfoolery or like Quinshon Judkins, bro. Like that guy's definitely just seeing the stats about like Chase Brown, like doing great. Third, like highest running back usage right now, or some tomfoolery, right? Like that for the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
High powered offense. Like they probably just saw those stats and now they're really inflated on Chase Brown. Send that full trade though. If it's like Chase Brown, Matthew Golden, that still changes nothing. I'm still
I want to talk about Dowdle because ATL, I know you said earlier it seemed like Dowdle's gonna miss, but everything I'm seeing seems like he's gonna play. He just didn't practice today. But Canales did say in the presser, like, yeah, we're just trying to play it safe, so he's ready to go for week 10 against the Saints. So it seems like Canales thinks he's gonna play. And this injury did come up during last game against the Packers, and he played through it. So I think he'll push through it. I think Dowdle's still gonna play. Yeah. Mando said start one running back, one flex. Woody, Hendo, Ramondre, QJ, Slayton. I'm playing QJ. I'm flexing QJ. I don't care about a couple down weeks. I still believe in him. I still don't believe in that Steelers secondary. I think it's good to target that through the air.
I'm out on Woody.
Yeah, I don't like playing Woody this week against the Jags. Hendo, Ramondre, Slayton. Oh, wait, it has to be a running back, so it's Hendo or Ramondre. See, is Ramondre going to play? Probably not, right? He's got turf toe.
Do you think that Travion has
Ramondre did not practice today.
a little
So,
bit more role anyways, and when they ease back Ramondre?
yeah, I'd go Hendo. Give me Hendo. Let's go. Usage was good last week. Let's just hope Terrell Jennings doesn't vulture another touchdown from him, and we'll be good. Is a tough matchup though against the Bucks. Bucks are tough.
Hendo or Bill?
Hendo. Bill's a non. You can't play Bill this week against Seattle. Oh wait, no, that was who he just played. Bill plays. Who do the Commanders play this week?
Detroit.
Oh, the Lions. Yeah, I still don't feel great about playing Bill either against them.
I hope he does. I have him in 2 less important leagues. Yeah. I might trade for Hendo. Right now I'm valuing him at like a 2nd-round pick.
In Dynasty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hendo's a good buy in Dynasty. He's looked fine. Like, he hasn't looked bad. It's just the Vrabel shit.
What receiver could I get for Bucky and Tet?
I think Tet holds some name value. Bucky and Tet's pretty good. I would try for all the S tier guys. Maybe try for Rashee Rice. Try for Drake London too, maybe.
Try for S. Work your way down to A.
I don't like giving up Bucky though. Like, why are you trading
A tier? I'm only trading Bucky for those top 3 guys. I'm not trading Bucky plus for George Pickens and Devontae Adams. I might do Bucky for Adams straight up, but that's about where I end. I low-key want to put Adams above Pickens.
Yeah.
Feels wrong. I don't like seeing that, especially with Puka getting banged up a lot.
I still like Pickens over Adams. I just feel like Adams, he's a little more touchdown dependent than Pickens is right now.
Yeah, but he gets all the touchdowns.
Yeah, true. I just think true ceiling outcomes, Pickens is a little higher. Like Devontae Adams scored 3 touchdowns in a game and still didn't break 30 points.
Woody and Bill for Chase Brown, yes.
Yeah.
2 fallers for 1 riser.
Lucky too, but I don't know if he's gonna play.
Yeah, Fiery Tutor's like Fiery Tutor, did you pick up a win this week? Are you 2-8 now? whatever week we're in. What week are we in? Are
10,
you 2-6 now?
7.
2 and
Nice math.
7?
Uh-oh.
Guys, don't worry.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, so we're 1-8 is what I'm hearing.
You had this defense and this kicker, they combined for 50 points.
I'm ready for that. I forgot to take mine. No.
Oh, no.
That's tough. I mean, no one saw this DJ Moore legacy game coming. Maybe they did because it was against the Bengals, but Jacoby had a good matchup too. That's a bummer though, for sure.
I don't know
Alright.
if you need points now, Cooter. I don't even know if you can make playoffs, big guy. Just make the trades that make your heart happy, you know?
Alright, we've been on here a minute. Seems like some of the questions are kind of winding down. If you guys have any last minute questions, fire them off.
And
we
he
get
just
outta here.
traded for Rome, didn't he?
Yeah.
Someone just traded for Rome.
Did someone ask for your
Oh.
streaming tomorrow? I feel like I saw that. We'll probably do a Thursday night preview tomorrow. Yeah, Mando asked if we're streaming tomorrow. Yeah, we'll probably get a stream tomorrow. Don't hold us to it, but we should be about this time. Fiery asked if those were the updated rankings. Yes, I need to drop them in the Discord still, but we did those on stream yesterday. Make sure to check that out if you want to hear our thought process behind some of our moves. Save for Rome. Zay or Rome rest of the season, Josh?
Zay or Rome?
Yeah, rest of the season. Who you got?
Rome. Just a bad game.
Yeah. DJ Turner effect.
This week.
Dobbins. I mean,
ETN.
yeah. ETN against the Texans, though, feels so gross.
Texans shouldn't have the ball for long. This already did the trade. I was answering the question, but I also traded Myers for Tet. Yeah, we like that.
W. Oh, man. Excuse me.
I'm still just in shock about this Jamar Chase and Daniel Jones trade from earlier, and just DeAndre. Why is DeAndre Swift in there? What?
Yeah, I need to on that one a little more.
Like, dude, what am I looking at? I don't even want to open that league anymore. I'm like depressed. It like actually like ruined my day. Like
the $20 league.
like, dude, I don't know. That was like my fun league, and now it's just like depressing and sad. We're never raising the entry for that league. I'm not paying more than 20 for that league. Kick me out if it goes above 20 for that scam.
All right, y'all. I think we're about to get out of here. Make sure to join the Discord. 100% free to join. We're always in there talking ball. I'm going to have some NBA picks in there as soon as we get off stream. Had some yesterday. I think I went 3-2 on the picks, slightly profitable. You can join the Discord and see all the receipts for yourself and the pick'em slips, but we've been money on NBA this year. Appreciate y'all. Make sure to drop a like on the stream, drop a sub to the channel if you haven't already. Just dropped a new Instagram, TikTok, put a bunch of shorts on there from the stream yesterday, so make sure to check those out. One more question before we get out of here. We had Bronson ask, start flex PPR, Trey Tucker, Ramondre, or Kincaid. Ramondre instantly eliminated. Doesn't seem like he's going to play. Even if he does, I think I like the other two guys more. So you got Trey Tucker against the Broncos. You got Kincaid against the Dolphins. Give me Kincaid. What do you think, Josh?
I like Kincaid.
Yeah, I think we talked a little beginning of the stream about not really loving any Raiders pass catchers besides Bowers this week. Just feels like it's going to be an ugly game, pretty low scoring, even with no Surtain, like still a good secondary, still a good pass rush. doesn't feel great to start pieces against it, especially in this first game without Jacoby Myers, where they still might be figuring things out a little bit offensively. Roll with Kincaid. All right, y'all. We're getting out of here. We should be back again tomorrow before Thursday Night Football, talking that game a little more, go a little more in depth on that. Probably have some best bets for y'all. That's gonna be it. Later.